Good morning and good afternoon, good evening. Welcome in everybody to the Crypto Logic podcast. Welcome in Dante DeFi to the show right now, everybody. Hopefully you guys are having a fantastic Monday.
Fuego, El Champion.
We're going to be talking about a lot of stuff today, guys. Primarily, we're going to be talking about some DAOs because as you guys know, or maybe you don't, there is a DAO boom right now. So if you guys don't know anything about DAOs, we're going to explain it to you, kind of give you some breakdowns, talk about some of the DAOs that we recently got into. And just remember, none of this is financial advice because we are not your financial advisors.
We are just your friends.
There you go.
Your internet friends.
All right. So let's just dive into the market really quickly, show you guys what's going on, and then we'll hop into some of this DAO talk. So as you guys see right now, we are, let me go ahead and refresh real quick. Yeah, we're still sitting at 2.58 trillion, down almost 3% on the day.
That's the same market cap we were at on Friday when we did the show.
Yeah, I mean, it's went up since then, but it has since retraced. Bitcoin hit 60,000, but it did go back down underneath, sitting at around 57,000 right now. Ethereum has not dropped since it reached 4,000, so that's great. Like Bitcoin dropped under 60. We hope that we didn't see it, but hey, it's here. It is what it is. But Ethereum has held strong, hasn't dipped under 4K. Binance has dipped under 600, but I believe it's going to go back up. Tether hit an all-time high at $1, guys. So definitely, if you're trying to get in, make some big bucks, go ahead and invest in a USDT right there. Solana has
the
dipped.
best potential USDT.
Heck yeah, man. For centralized exchanges, rather. Solana, I think will hit $300 soon. Excuse me. Sorry, guys. Got some in my throat. Can't get it out. But I think Solana would hit $300 pretty soon. Cardano is about to hit $2 soon. XRP has took a major dip. Polkadot has took a major dip as well. Avalanche has been killing it, guys. Ever since we started talking about Avalanche, it's been going crazy every single day. Right now it's on par to probably hit $200 relatively soon. What do you guys think?
Avalanche is the only one that's one of the only ones in the top 20 that's pumping, going crazy, keeping the market green.
Hey, low key though.
Yeah, I know.
It's all
John,
those.
You said it, or not John, Mike, you said it. Whenever we were talking about it last time, Avalanche is probably the easiest 2 to 3x at some point.
Heck yeah.
Like it's pretty obvious at this point that the ecosystem is so good that we can probably expect it to do very
All those forks too.
And it's doing it. Yeah, all the forks of
those forks are
but
helping
do you guys honestly think that with Avalanche being an easy 2 to 3x from here, do you think it's a safe 2 to 3x? That's the thing.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people look at Bitcoin and look at Ethereum as safe 2x's. You know what I'm saying? So if you had like $10,000 to double it, would you feel safe to put it in an Avalanche, or would you feel safe to put it in a Bitcoin or Ethereum?
Avalanche kicked the meme coins off. The meme coins are out of the top 10. Avalanche is in the top 10. Avalanche will be.
Yeah, we said that on Friday.
Avalanche will be right underneath XRP. It'll be right underneath XRP. And this time next year, it could be top 5. But I think Avalanche will kick past Polkadot and would be around about 45 billion. And then it could pass XRP depending on the losses. XRP is going to kick back down to like 8. But I can
we'll see.
Avalanche is already at 32 billion. That thing kicked out the meme coins out of the top 10, man. Thank you, Avalanche. Thank you.
Finally.
My
It kicked
hot
the meme
take
coins
is
out of the
that
top
Avalanche.
10.
That Avalanche is going to be my hot take on. I guess it's not a hot take, but for whatever reason, I feel like Avalanche is going to take over Solana as well. And I
think so?
Wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think out of all I think Avalanche could be the number one layer one other than Ethereum in terms of just market cap. I think it's the ease of entry already. You can see is
the use case
is good.
But I mean, some people say that. Well, I mean, I've experienced it. Phantom is actually cheaper than Avalanche.
So Phantom, I think, is like behind, just a little bit behind in the sense in terms of the community understanding and knowing about it. Like,
right.
Eventually, people will catch on. I think Phantom is. I think it's like kind of funny. It's like Solana was the first to run. I think Avalanche is just a little bit better than Solana, and I think Phantom's just a little bit better than both of those.
Yeah. Well, the one thing about Avalanche and Phantom that they have over Solana is that you can bridge to them you can go to Avalanche to Ethereum to Phantom to Harmony
interoperability.
One. But Solana, you're just kind of stuck. You're
literally
still
siloed, and that's
stuck.
the problem,
That's the problem that Solana runs into. But I mean, Are the gas fees kind of crazy on Solana? I don't really know, to be honest with you. I haven't really checked it out, but I know that the fees are cheaper on Phantom than Avalanche, but even Avalanche is still relatively cheap. I mean, if you're connecting to a decentralized application, you're probably going to pay somewhere in the neighborhood of like 7 cents as opposed to Phantom paying 2 cents. So it's a difference between 5 cents. I don't know if that really matters to you, but
Avalanche
we'll
is more scarce than Phantom anyway. Though Phantom has like what 3 billion,
something like that. I think so.
Yeah,
maybe.
and then Avalanche,
I don't know, but
Avalanche has
it's
700 million total, like max.
Yeah,
And then it's at 395 total right now.
I think to me,
So it's
I think
the supply and demand for
Phantom is
Avalanche.
probably regardless of the supply is greater, but I think it's just like I can't remember who was saying this, but it's like these things just run. The layer one protocols once there's something going on one of them, anything really that's actually attracting a community. That's why Avalanche is pumping. You can see that people are able to get onto Avalanche pretty easily. Like things like Kucoin. To me, now I start telling people like Kucoin is like the Robin Hood of crypto. I don't know what you guys think about that. That's what I agree. I agree. Look at
Crypto.com too is pretty good because they have Avalanche on there too, but it's a little bit slower in my opinion.
Well, I
Easy
mean,
to buy on Crypto.com.
so Crypto.com is the centralized version of Kucoin, I think. Kucoin is more of, if you want to stay out of the realm of eyes, if you catch my drift.
Yeah, because you're not doing know your customer, and
Exactly.
this is the thing about crypto. Like again, that's the other like kind of paradigm shift that we have in crypto in general is the know your customer thing, or needing to know who you're transacting with.
Yeah, that's annoying.
In the world we live in now is like an absolute must. But in a decentralized manner, when you're trading internet magic money or whatever, internet money, like
Mem.
there's not necessarily there. How are people going to say they need to, know
who you are?
Things? I know for tax purposes, but eventually the ecosystems are going to grow and move in a decentralized way so much that, like there's no way that like all those people are going to be paying taxes.
Yeah, I mean that's why Miami. We talked about it on the show with their Miami coin. They're not even making their people pay taxes. The Miami coin will pay the taxes for whatever they need. So, more countries, more states do that. I mean, taxes could be theoretically a thing in the past.
Yeah. Smartest thing to do is do what they're doing and create something that will allow them to profit off of the adoption of crypto.
Exactly.
In one way or another, because, it is an absolute wealth generation opportunity for everyone who wants to get involved.
Yep.
Exactly. So yeah, like John stated, Avalanche did surpass both Shiba and Doge. I thought it was
going to pass them too.
Yeah, it looks like it might be doing that. I read an article about Shiba that a couple more whales are dumping SHIB. So just to give you a heads up, guys, if you're in it, and I don't know if it might go up from here or what, but it's been slowly dumping and dumping and dumping. Same with Dogecoin. Even the Dogecoin millionaire, he's kind of starting to talk about other tokens. I mean, he's still in the meme coin realm, but he's not so much talking about Dogecoin as much. So, could be a sign. I don't know. What do you guys think about CRO hitting $1? You guys think it hit $1 this year?
Yep.
Based off all the hype, I mean, me and John sold out earlier.
I don't really follow it though.
After I got out of it, I kind of moved it off of my watch list. But every once in a while, I get an alert like, oh, Crypto.com's up, 3%. Oh, it's up 60% on the week. So, good for CRO, man. I still use their debit card, and I will continue to use it.
CRO is going to be the crypto that's for, like, the general population, like the masses are going to flood into it, and then it's going to, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
People who have gotten early probably are like, all right, well, it's time to move on. Now there's other things that are popping up that the people that are worried about CRO, which is basically what we're going to talk about later on this show, is DAOs and all this other stuff. People that are in CRO, they're really focused on CRO and like, oh, I'm gonna buy CRO. I'm like, yeah, everyone's buying out like all-time highs at CRO.
There must be something I don't know, probably, that I have to do my research on.
CRO, it's not really complicated, man. It's just Crypto.com's native token. It's kind of like FTM. It's kind of like not FTM. What is the name?
Just all the news for it. It's like the Staples Center.
FTX.
Sorry, yeah. It's like FTX, LCX, things of that nature that are exchange tokens. Kucoin, KCS as well. So
you don't.
It's nothing
I thought you had a
special.
CRO. You don't have CRO account. You're a crypto.com account.
He doesn't like centralized stuff.
Me?
Yeah. You're not into
Oh.
centralized, right?
It's not that I'm not into it. It's that for me, I got into Kucoin, and Kucoin had everything I wanted.
Yeah.
And now I sort of just use Kucoin as my centralized place to like either trade or
Your
just like
middleman.
move off of. Yeah,
Dude,
exactly. Like if I'm
KuCoin
gonna
was
go from
scary to me when I
decentralized
first started.
It is. It's just annoying. It's not intuitive compared to what we're used to, but again, it's just like anything else. It's a small barrier to entry that once you're over the hump, like over the learning curve,
Yeah.
boom, bam.
Yeah,
You
I
can
feel
get
like
in and out of things. It's awesome.
I feel
To
like
me,
that
it's
too.
awesome.
100%. When I first got into crypto, dude, I kind of tried to stay away from KuCoin just because as a beginner, when you look at KuCoin, you see all these charts, all these numbers, it's just moving up and down. You're like, oh, what the heck is going on? But once you figure it out and how easy it is, it's literally, like you said, just boom, 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 boom. So yeah, 100%.
I
So
like it.
It's a small learning curve that you can get over real quick.
I really like KuCoin.
So I guess we should just dive into the and have a discussion about the DAOs and all of this DAO hype, because in the beginning of the year we had the meme coin rush. Then from the meme coin, did it go to utility and then altcoins, or did it go altcoins and then utility for the wave? It was like meme coins first, and then was it altcoins?
It's like Bitcoin's in there somewhere. Altcoins.
Well, Bitcoin was first, obviously.
Meme coins. Now there's NFTs, and then
it was meme coins. Then it was NFTs, and
Sorry,
then it
I
was
gotta cut you off.
utility.
Small bladder syndrome here.
Oh yeah, go ahead, man. Don't worry about it. I will drop you. Okay. And then I think so. It went Bitcoin, meme coins, NFTs, altcoins, utility, and now I feel like we're now into a whole new spectrum, which is in the DeFi space and having to do with DAOs and stuff like that.
decentralized, anonymous organizations.
Damn, man, it's crazy how many DAOs are being pumped out. And though you would think that they would be safer, some of them haven't been. I mean, we on our show, without even knowing about DAOs at the time, I mean, we knew about it, but we didn't really dive deep into DAOs. But that one DAO, not Olympus, sorry, Anubis. Anubis DAO was the first DAO that we spoke about on our channel that ended up getting rugged, and people were freaking out about that because they put a whole bunch of money into it. But Dante, I want to get your take on this, man.
We didn't tell anyone to do anything with that, right?
No, we didn't.
No.
We were breaking the news to them.
Oh, that it got rugged.
Oh
yeah.
Because that was at the time when that one meme coin got rugged, where people couldn't sell or whatever. Squid Games, yep. And that was a whole show about that. So, but Dante, I want to get your take on DAOs, man. When you first found Wonderland, because we found Wonderland because of you, and you got us into it and showed us how to do it and things of that nature. What made you feel so comfortable with putting your money into something theoretically people would be like, whoa, 90,000% APY? Like, I don't know about this. Might be a scam. What made you say, you know what? I'm gonna ape into it. What gave you that clarity, understanding? Oh, you're muted, brother.
I'm sorry, I'm muted.
You're fine.
So I guess, yeah, guys, I'm all over the place sometimes, but I guess you will know, because you guys are just as into crypto as I am, you'll know that you are presented with so many different projects all the time, in terms of if you just follow people or you're just in the space, you're bombarded with this is the next greatest thing, this is the next best thing, this is the next best thing.
Yep.
And it's always the case of, all right, you go and you'll research something that someone says is the next best thing, and then you won't get that feeling of, wow, this is actually unique, this actually has a real value proposition. And so why I was so confident, I guess, with time is one, because it's a fork of OHM, and I had been following OHM because in my mind, when I first realized that DeFi existed and the capabilities of DeFi, I was imagining that there has to be eventually a day that'll come where they're able to create a protocol or, a bunch of code that basically does what Olympus DAO and Time does. And what I mean by that is by the like virtue of game theory and all these other things, they're able to create value for every single person that's using the network, so that there's no incentive for people to move off of the network. So like, in one of our videos, we're talking about net worth, or your network is your net worth. So it's like, the more people who are joining the network and creating value for the network, the more valuable it becomes in general, right? And also there's also so many different kind of reserve currencies. There's so many, because that is one of the use cases for crypto, is to solve the problem that we have right now with the dollar and inflation and our purchasing power being diminished by inflation.
Right.
And so there's so many different people trying to do the reserve currency protocol thing. And Olympus is the first one that I had ever come across that is doing it, and actually doing it in a way where it's
sustainable,
almost like Bitcoin in the sense that like, yeah, like it's not like anything I had ever seen before. And it was something that immediately people were calling a Ponzi, but then as soon as you see someone else copy them, that's when you know that it's either a really, really, really good Ponzi, or there's more to this. So when Time came out, that's when I got really interested, because at that point, OHM had been operating for several months successfully, and I just watched it go up in price and watch the APY stabilize, and I was shocked. And then once you do the digging, you understand, oh, like this is something that we've never seen before. This is like the creation of Ethereum after Bitcoin. This is the next step. This is and I felt it was sort of just like you have those feelings, right? Like your gut feelings or your intuitions about things.
Right.
I felt that way about Time, but I didn't necessarily think that it was okay for me to go and say that around publicly, because people would think I was shilling it, or they thought I was like maybe involved with it or somehow, because if it didn't work out, then, that would be, I'm sure there'd be a lot of upset people with any of us who are trying to make it seem like it's more than it is. But I've seen other people in the space who have more exposure to the actual crypto industry than I do, who are also saying the same things. So that's when I got really like, this might turn into something, and it already kind of is something that, is absolutely game changing for crypto, and will basically be the foundation of how DeFi now moves forward, because it's everything you want from crypto. It's giving you ownership over valuable networks, and it's giving you a way of earning income without actually having to take time out of your day. Like that, for me, that's, if we have the ability to use crypto for anything, why aren't we using it so that everybody never has to worry about how they're going to put their next meal on their plate? If we can turn the internet into a place where individuals own the most valuable parts of it, then we'll never need to have those kinds of times, where people have a hard time finding out where they're going to make income from. Now they can go and innovate and create and build upon what we've already established, because they're no longer worried about those physiological things. To me, that's what crypto can enable, and whatever's pushing it forward is what I want to support. And I think, as ridiculous as it sounds, 90,000 APY is something that I'm supporting, and I'm telling people is not necessarily a rug, because it's not always going to be crazy APYs, but like it's crazy. Like, are we going to settle for 1,000 APY? Eventually at the start of this year, OHM will probably go from 7,000 to 1,000 in APY. That's how the returns will be diminished, right? But if you told me that I was going to get 1,000 APY on an investment just from interest compounding, not even including the price appreciation of the actual asset, it's a game-changing investment, right?
It is.
And then it's just crazy to me. So I know I could go on forever.
I mean, for beginner investors, John, this question is for you, man. Dante mentioned fork of OHM. Can you kind of explain what a fork is so people understand? Because not a lot of people understand what a fork is. Mm-hmm. What is a fork?
So it's like, a fork is like basically like a
fork
pivot
in the road.
Yeah, fork in the road. So like you have the 3 lanes right here. Let's look, I'm flipping you off. So like in a basic standard term of like blockchain, whenever there's like we're making, every new block is being made, a fork is basically just a pivot down here, and then this going this way, it's new protocols, new whoever decided to create this new token, DAO, whatever, they just copied the basic layer that was originally there, and then they made a pivot. So now it's going this way or the other way, and then it's just whatever they implement in regards to smart contracts, in regards of the tokenomics, It's just a different way of they mostly think that they can do it better. That's when usually a fork is created, or
Right.
an inadvertent fork is created based off of like a glitch or some type of error in the code.
Right.
Like
But
Ethereum
that tends to
Classic.
get fixed. Though.
Yeah, Ethereum Classic and stuff like that. And then there's also literally copycat forks, and they're just like, all right, we're gonna tweak this here. So a fork is just like a copy of something in basic terms, of a copy of a previous token protocol, layer 1, layer 2, anything.
Okay.
You can make a fork out of anything on the blockchain.
But I mean, okay, so let me play devil's advocate and play like I'm naive and don't understand. If Wonderland Time is a fork of Ohm, why not just go into Ohm?
Well, the person that made Time probably thought, well, I see some inefficiencies in Ohm, and he made it better. And one, he probably was like, all right, well, I'm gonna put this on Avalanche, cheaper, because the like to get into Ohm, you gotta have some capital to play with, right?
Okay.
All those fees. So he probably implemented Time. He was like, all right, I'm gonna copy Time. I'm gonna put it on, first off, I'm gonna put it on a whole different network. Avalanche, I believe when he put it on Avalanche wasn't that popping yet, right? It was
I think
like, what,
Avalanche was at like $50, yeah.
yeah, and it was $9 in July. I remember that tweet. But so he first, he put it on Avalanche network, and then he implemented the rebase, and he changed. I haven't looked into Ohm enough to know what the key differences are, but
I think it's just a difference in layer ones.
and you can look at the price. He edited
and the APY.
the supply. He edited the supply. So look at how Time is at what, $9,000 and Ohm's still at $800, right? Maybe the amount of people aren't in as much as Ohm as Time because it's cheaper to get on Time.
Yeah.
But I don't know what the market cap is on each. I haven't looked into what Ohm's market cap is.
I don't know. I haven't looked into Ohm's market cap
But
either. But I know the barrier to entry.
He tweaked some things and it's sustaining. It's going crazy. So it's doing so well. People think that it's too good to be true.
But
Yeah,
but
and I think,
society
yeah.
tells
That's
us.
the thing.
But isn't that what society tells us to do? If it's too good to be true, it probably is. I know you guys have heard that before.
Yeah, of course. That's
you
the
know?
thing. That's what
That's
makes
people
everyone
freaked
so
out about
skeptical.
DAOs.
And that's what I think Dante is saying is like this guy that created Time. He made it so unfathomably realistic. Like it's $9,000.
So Ohm,
You think
whoever, so
Ohm?
the guy who created Ohm,
Yeah.
So because I know people who actually like there's definitely Ohm maxis out there who will get pissed at you for saying that.
All right, I know.
That,
I take it
like
back. All right.
Daniel Siesta, who is the guy who created Wonderland, is the person who came up with this protocol. It's the guy is literally 17 years old. The guy who created Ohm, the protocol.
What?
He's like a
Little
genius.
young
He's
vitality.
an absolute genius. Yeah.
What? He's what?
All right, look.
He's 17 years old.
Ohm has 1.5. Is that billion?
That's crazy.
That's $1.5 billion, and then Time is at 500 million.
That's a million. What are you talking about?
No, it's
Right.
billion.
So the thing is,
Market cap.
yeah.
yeah, I mean,
So
well, Ohm
Time's
is
still a
sitting
baby
at
in a sense. Time's only at 500 million market
Mhm.
cap,
So yeah, basically,
and then Ohm's at 1.5 billion.
the thing that is so interesting to me, and which has made me so much more
Ohm, then you're right. So Ohm
bullish
is
on
original,
this is
so-
because Ohm and Time both, the protocols are, one, generating a lot of value, but also they're giving us a glimpse into what decentralized social media is
Yeah.
like, and decentralized communities, and I mean, there's literally a fork of Ohm that bought the Constitution, like the last copy of the Constitution or whatever it was called, Constitution DAO. It
Right.
literally raised enough money to buy the Constitution. So think about this: if you have a protocol like this, it becomes the basis of everything that now is created in DeFi, where essentially you're going to use, so say, in my opinion, I guess, like, this is where your opinions come in as well. It's like, in my opinion, there's going to be one, other than Olympus, all of the other forks that are going to last are going to be the main original forks that came up on each major network. For Avalanche, it's going to be Time, and for Phantom, we'll talk about it. There's one that we believe is going to be basically the equivalent to Phantom, or Time on Phantom, and we'll discuss that in a little bit. But like, essentially, those are the ones that we want to get into early and just set and
Position
forget it.
ourselves.
And exactly, position ourselves for the long-term compounding. But that means that you have to believe that this is going to be sustainable, and the only way to do that is we'll share some material, like some good videos that we were just discussing, that really explain this to you well. But essentially, like, the community aspect of this is what makes me very bullish on it, because the people in the community want more people to come in, just like, that's why people want to call it a Ponzi, because it's like, I want to get my friends in because they're going to create value, and they're going to create value for me by creating value for themselves, which usually in the real world, or the world we've lived in, someone's losing in every agreement or every transaction, in every contract. One of you is getting the short end of the stick.
Yep.
But that is no longer the case with things like Olympus and Time, which is why it's so hard for us psychologically, I guess, based on what we've known to be our paradigm, to understand how 7,000 APY or 90,000 APY is sustainable. It's not sustainable forever, in the sense that, the APY will reduce. If you go look at the chart for OHM, we can pull it up right now. If you want to go to the OHM website and look at how the APY has performed, it is going down, but eventually it's going to stabilize at a point, I think, at 1,000, like in January or something. Again, in the videos that I'm referencing, you'll be able to get this information, but like, the APY might go down to 1,000 and stabilize at 1,000. But just think about that. Compounding interest at 1,000%. And if OHM is worth anything, or even maintains its value right now, you're going to be making 1,000% compounding. That's still unbelievable, unfathomable amounts. In a sustainable situation, that's unfathomable to believe you can do that, where you're increasing your purchasing power every single day without any risk of really like the devaluing of OHM as a currency, because OHM is completely backed. Whereas, example, fiat, your dollar, is not backed by anything. And because of inflation, you're consistently or constantly losing purchasing power. I think 15% a year basically is like the average right now. So unless you're making 15% a year on your dollar bills, you need to make 30% in that year.
Yeah. And that's unheard of in the regular real world, which is kind of crazy. But I wanted to ask you guys a question, get your opinion before we move on to the video. Or maybe this will tie into the video as well. But so say, for instance, I don't know, the liquidity for some weird reason gets snatched from Olympus and the price just tanks. Theoretically, how long does someone have to where, like, if they stayed in for a certain amount of time, how would they still be able to get those rebases, still continue to make passive income if it goes basically almost to zero? Or will it basically just get rugged like a meme coin gets rugged? Can you kind of break that down a little bit?
Yeah. So like, this is really interesting, which I just kind of fully understood. So again, on the website, you can see this thing called runway. And essentially runway is how many days they can maintain the current APY if there was no more revenue being generated by the protocol. So the way that you're even earning such a ridiculous amount of APY is because the protocol is actually generating a yield for itself. It's profiting, it's creating value for the whole ecosystem in general, so that it can pay out in a way where it's incentivizing those who are staking and also incentivizing those who are minting them at a discount. And so you can go and look at each of these protocols and look at how much runway time they have. Essentially, if basically what you're describing happens,
where do we find the runway
guys,
so we can show? Oh, never mind.
It's also on the website.
Right here.
Exactly, right here.
Yeah.
So for 316 days, they would be able to sustain the APY right now if there was no profit coming into the protocol anymore, which is a lot of time. That's almost a year's worth of runway. And another crazy fact that I heard in this video that we'll link, is that OHM could lose 90% of its value over a year's period of time. But as long as you're staking and holding OHM, you will still end up with more money. You'll still end up in profit at the end of that year based on the rebasing and compounding of your interest to the point where you're still in the green, even if OHM loses 90% of its value. And for OHM to lose 90% of its value right now, it would go to its actual backed value, which is like around $190 or something like that. So it's like what its actual backed value is 10% of what it is right now. People are paying a premium to buy into OHM right now because of the APYs. And the assumption is, just like with Bitcoin, there's always going to be an intrinsic value associated with Ohm, so that it is always going to be, traded at a premium. So there's it's not necessarily that it has to go back down to that price. Otherwise, we're not paying a fair price for it. That's like saying, unless Bitcoin goes back down to zero because its actual worth is zero because there's nothing backing it, I'm not going to buy any. That doesn't make any sense.
Right.
People have intrinsic value associated with these things. But the difference with Ohm versus everything else that's come before it is that it's actually backed. There's actually real assets, digital assets behind it, so that there's actually a price floor, versus there's nothing like that in anything in crypto right now.
Got it. Now, we do want to get to the video to showcase off what we're talking about. Did you have a specific timestamp that you wanted me to showcase in this video?
Yeah, so we can go to 5 minutes and 45 seconds.
5:45.
So we basically already talked about it. What is DeFi 2.0 versus DeFi 1.0? We can talk about that right now. We talked about runway, and then we can talk about our forks, because I know everybody's going to be interested in what forks we're actually looking into. And I'll ask you guys your opinion on the forks after we just go over this one thing.
Okay, I'm gonna show the screen real quick. We're gonna go to 5:45 here, and the creator of this video is it Sam Kid? I think it's Sam Kid.
I literally just found these videos randomly. I like this guy's channel a lot. I subscribe to him. I don't know if he's a professor or something, but he's doing a lecture. I don't know what his background is, but he's done a lot of research into this.
Okay, so shout out to him. Definitely subscribe.
Definitely shout out to him.
We'll link his video down at the bottom. But I'm gonna go ahead and play this. Do I play it, or you just want to talk about?
Well, no, you can keep
screen?
it right here. This
Okay.
is all I really wanted to describe, is what DeFi 2.0 really is. And
Let me see if I can turn these.
also why we have the stable coins and we have decentralized reserve currency protocols. So stable coins, obviously we all know stable coins are just a peg of a dollar on the blockchain. That's really all it is. And then we have these reserve currency protocols that are also pegged, but you can earn certain amounts of interest with them, and that's supposed to be the way in which you hedge against inflation. So essentially, like, instead of holding a regular dollar, you can hold UST and earn 20% on your UST per year. So supposedly that's good enough for you to hedge against inflation, right? Because we said, inflation's about 15% a year on average.
Yeah.
Right.
So you're making 5% on those. You're actually increasing purchasing power. Yeah. But the thing with non-pegged stablecoins, which is what Ohm is that now you have two ways of generating value for yourself. You're not, so it's like Bitcoin and a dollar stablecoin mixed together. It's something that's backed by real assets, but has also got the potential to appreciate as an asset in its dollar value and its value against other crypto assets. So it's
got it.
Now not just, you're going to put $500 in and you're going to make 20% on $500. Now you can buy one Ohm, and for example, if it's worth $500, you're going to make 7,000% APY on that $500 asset. But if people start paying a premium, which they already have, and we already know that, Ohm has just basically gone up, and same with time, then you're making money on the price appreciation and the compounding interest, which is insane. And you can see it already happening. The ability to make passive income that way, and the ability to actually grow an ecosystem and bring in people extremely fast is insane. Because I think in this video, I'm not sure if it's this video or one video, he talks about how fast Ohm basically went from $0 to $1 billion inside its treasury. And it's basically the fastest growing asset in human history. And the only thing that had it beat before was Bitcoin. That was the last time we said that. The last time we ever said that was with Bitcoin, and now we're saying that with Ohm. And then time was even faster to get to $1 billion.
Do you think that big Ohm is like for this new wave of where we're going in regards of crypto? Because we've always said in the show there's the meme coin era, there's the Bitcoin, right? Bitcoin as a currency as it stands was created as a currency, digital currency. Then we got layer ones, right? Ethereum was the first layer one to set off the wave of duplicate layer ones. Is Ohm like the first? Like it is the first, but Dome is the quote unquote Bitcoin of DAOs in the DeFi space.
Yes.
Yeah,
Just
I
like
mean,
the
just
Bored
think
Ape
about
Yacht
it.
Club. Is that the original NFT? Like, is that the
The
CryptoPunks?
blue
I think it was
chip, yes.
CryptoPunks.
CryptoPunks.
Yeah.
CryptoPunks are like the original like of the NFT space, right? Like,
that blew up, I think.
yeah.
And then it
And
was a
so
Bored Ape
that's
skin.
like their Bitcoin, and then the Ohm is the Bitcoin, and then Ethereum is Ethereum for layer ones, and then now you got Polkadot,
Yes.
you got
Exactly.
Avalanche. So now you got Ohm, you got Time. Time is the
Exactly.
Ethereum, which is second one, and then now you which ones? It's just history repeating itself. There's gonna be a
And the
bunch
thing
of these
is, it's going
pumping
to
out.
force people to innovate.
Which
It's
one is
going
gonna
to force people
survive?
to innovate.
Just like 10 years ago when all these coins came out, right? If you look at the top 10 in 2015, 2013, 2014, they're completely different, and most of them are gone. Same thing is happening now with these DAOs. Which one's going to survive? Same thing that's happening with NFTs. Which NFTs are actually going to be worthwhile, right? And then now we got the meme coins. There's only two, hypothetically speaking, like there's
That
only
people
two.
talk about.
There's only two meme coins that are survived. Doge and Sheep.
Yep.
All the other meme coins, are just Safe Moon,
They're all just hype. Yeah.
they're gone. And it's just those two. So it's like, and that's why people are saying that's happening in the crypto space. There's thousands and hundreds that come out. Literally 3 or 4 or 5 exist, survive. So, I mean, layer ones, there's so many layer ones. Oh, we're the best layer one. We're the best layer one. And then now we got DAOs coming out and the staking protocols. Which one is actually going to be, staying around? I mean, I think Ohm has solidified itself as something that's going to, this is the original. It's going to be fine. And I think maybe Time too, because Time is killing it. And then what's after that? Like Klima, there's so many, we don't know.
So for me personally, my whole thing is with this new DAO's wave, because it's actually a wave. You know what I'm saying? It was a meme coin wave. That was a wave. Everybody was talking about meme coins on Twitter and everything. Oh, get into this one. Get into this one. And then the next one was NFTs. Oh, bro, what's the new NFT? What's the new NFT? Now it's the DAOs, because everything is a Olympus fork. Everything comes from Ohm.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's not like Bitcoin, though, because not everything's from Bitcoin.
A lot was created from Bitcoin, though.
That's true.
Dogecoin, I think, was copied for Bitcoin. I mean, right? And then, was Litecoin a fork of Bitcoin? I believe so.
I don't want to speak out of turn, but I think so.
There's so many forks off of Bitcoin that were created. Like, they just copied Bitcoin and they changed the supply. They did all this stuff. And then, just like Ethereum Classic was an inadvertent fork because it got hacked. Right?
Yeah.
It got hacked or whatever. And then
That
they kept Ethereum Classic going. I mean, literally had use cases. They just kept it going.
I think you can look at it more so like the part of Bitcoin that people are, copying is their proof of work is what Bitcoin has like kind of innovated on. Proof of work was what
Got it.
KDA
solved there was permissioned blockchains. Like blockchains have been around for a very long time, but they had never happened. They had never been able to solve the permissionless side of things where, it's completely decentralized. IBM has had them since the 90s, blockchains, but they're permissioned, they're centralized. And so proof of work, that mechanism allowed for Bitcoin to exist and allowed for there to be now permissionless blockchains where nobody owns what is happening and nobody owns the consensus.
Exactly.
That's what Ohm has just created the new, essentially Ohm's protocol. What Ohm is doing, that piece of is a piece of technology that now people can go and innovate on top of. And that's why it's so cool, because it's like, look at Klima DAO, for example. They have a specific use case that they're using to create value for people and also do something with, but it's all on the basis of what? It's all on the basis of Ohm's original protocol. So instead of looking at it like a fork, eventually we're going to look at it as the protocol that is the basis for what this DAO has, been built on. And he even says it in this video. He says that in DeFi and in crypto, he thinks already at this point, moving forward, you're going to have to use the rebasing Ohm protocol in your DAO or in your DeFi platform in order to be successful, because it is so good. And it's just like how Bitcoin innovated and changed everything. Ohm innovated and changed everything. But the thing that I also want to say that, like, you have to, like, in my opinion, that I already see happening, we always talk about it, is like there's already the tribalism behind Ohm, where it's like Ohm's the only thing that's
Bitcoin
going
maxis,
to last
Ethereum
out of all of
maxis,
this stuff. Instead of being like, listen guys, this changes the game, the sustainability of people who want to make a living in crypto. We are a perfect example. These things sustaining themselves means that we are free to work in this space and be able to do it. these kinds of protocols.
And
So
teach.
I know that's not the only reason why I want it to be successful, but it also does it can do whatever you want for it. If you're able to support one of these networks, stake or mint, and earn passive income to the point where now you are free of having to go work a job. And
why not?
You're able to innovate. You're able to do whatever you want, whether you're that interested in crypto or not. If you're just using this for, to make money, then that's fine. But for people who are like, who want to dive deep into DeFi or want to dive deep into crypto and make this essentially their livelihood, these change the game. And so for people like me or people like these guys, like, I'm very bullish and I'm very positive on where it can go. And I always assumed that something like this was going to be created eventually.
It's also interesting to me to think about how the crypto space is going to move forward. So just think about how all these layer ones come out, right? And there's always layer 2 solutions for the layer ones, right? And then we think about how blockchain as it stands is technically quote unquote outdated technology. And then we got Hashgraph technology coming and DAGs coming, right? Not just Constellation, but the actual DAG is the actual type of blockchain.
Right.
But the hash graphing, and then you take a step back and you look at all these protocols or all these layer ones that say, oh, we now are able to have NFTs. You can create NFTs on our platform now. And then now you like they create new type of technology on their layer ones. So do you think like big new layer ones are gonna start implementing DAOs on top of their protocols? Just like how they're already saying, VeChain's like, we're gonna allow NFTs to be built on the XRP. We're gonna be able, you can have NFTs on there now. They start copycatting one another. So now next thing you know, XRP's gonna say, we have our own DAO. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's just gonna be a ripple effect.
The thing is, the people decide though. The thing is, the difference is now we have options. It's like, again,
but those are like
the example. What's that?
Those are like solidified layer ones. Like I know Ethereum has OHM obviously, but then you got XRP and then Cardano. What if Cardano releases a DAO whenever they finally launch, right? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
the people will be the ones who get into it first.
Yeah.
It's not the center. It's not going to be, the thing is, it's not going to be VC funded stuff, or it might be, but like the thing is, the thing with crypto before Olympus really was that there would be a project that was funded by some kind of venture capitalist or someone with a lot of money, and they're given a certain amount of tokens that are locked up for a certain amount of time, and then eventually they sell out of it. There's a big drop, and then the price action of these things is basically just one big
taper off
molehill, right?
Yeah.
And it's never sustainable, and it never lasts. And if the project is 3 years away from actually coming to market or being like the product market fit where like the consumers are actually ready for whatever it is they're building, like there's in between there's nothing for us to do. We're just going to have to, it's not like we can do anything with that. There's nothing there. It's just like you can hold a token that does nothing for 2 years and pray that hopefully things work out and their product is actually something people use. But that is very, like we said, there's only 1% of this stuff that'll work. But with this, the people are deciding, which ones will actually bring value in the long term. And so that forces innovation, that forces disruption, which is really, in my opinion, good.
And they're basically just copying the basic code of OHM, right? That's like the first start.
That's the basis of the protocol.
That's the building block.
That's the basis. Yeah, exactly.
And then all these layer ones and all these, they're gonna just like, all right, well, let's just put on it. We want our own.
So I want to ask you guys though, if that's the case and they are all forks of OHM, does it make sense or is it viable to, if you are bullish on a certain layer one, say like you're bullish on Solana, say you're bullish on Phantom, say you're bullish on Polkadot, say you're bullish on Luna as well, does it make sense to get in on the first DAO that's created as an OHM fork as opposed to getting into the second one or the third one or the fourth one? What do you guys think about that? Like for me personally, I want to get into the Solana fork of OHM. I want to get into, I'm already in the Phantom fork of OHM. I want to get into a lot of these DAOs because I mean, I've seen Wonderland Time. I'm not in OHM because of the gas fees. Ethereum is freaking bananas. But I am in Wonderland Time, and I'm in the Phantom one as well. We're probably going to talk about this in a minute or so, but I want to get you guys' point on that. Do you guys think it's a viable option it's not like one or the other, but is it a solution for someone beginning to hop into DAOs as opposed to hopping into an altcoin or hopping into Bitcoin or something.
Or the fifth version, the fifth DAO on that network. Like Avalanche has like 5.
It has like 12 actually.
Yo, 12? All right, it has a bunch now.
Yeah.
Phantom has, is it Hector?
Hector
Is it
DAO.
Hector?
Yeah, Hector,
Okay.
yes.
So, and Ethereum only has 1, which is Ohm. Okay. So, yeah.
Yeah, so do you guys think that it'll be better for someone in the beginning, just
It's always
starting
the
out,
best.
to get into DAOs or to get into altcoins or to get into like a base like a Bitcoin or a QUANT or something of that nature?
A little bit of
everything?
yeah.
What do you think,
I don't know,
Dante?
Let Dante speak first.
Yeah, no, I was John. I was waiting for you to say something. I didn't want to cut you off. Like, my opinion is that you can already see the barrier to entry with Olympus because of the Ethereum gas fees.
Yeah.
But Olympus, that doesn't change the value of Olympus. Olympus is still kind of the front runner or the number one asset in that space, or the OG, whatever you want to call it. But like we were discussing this off air, Time was the first fork on
Avalanche.
of Ohm, and it was on
the
Avalanche.
first one, the first
Yeah.
copy
And
of Ohm.
exactly, and the barrier to entry was so much lower because Avalanche was much less costly in terms of fees.
Time is the first copy of Ohm and the first DAO on a whole new different network.
Mhm.
That's why
It
Time is so
started
crazy.
the craze.
Yeah,
It started the craze of what we're seeing now. But what it does,
and people saw.
what it has been able to do is because it was the first fork, is that it had a lower barrier to entry. It has a huge community. If you go and look at people who vote on which one they're invested in or which one they are bullish on, there's more people voting for Time than Ohm because there was just more people that were able to get in.
Yes.
Yeah.
Get in early and now have no incentive to get out because of the amount of money they're making on a 5-day basis is insane. And the thing is, I think there's going to be one major decentralized currency for each major blockchain. So
Yes,
Ohm is going to
yeah.
be the one for Ethereum. Time is going to be the one for Avalanche.
And there'll be a lot of little mini copycats, right?
Exactly.
Yeah,
And
there
so what
always
we
will
want to
be.
find is the ones that are innovating on the same base layer protocol that Ohm
Yep.
has, but taking a spin and creating a little bit of extra value so that it doesn't take a lot for the sustainability of a project to increase by several months to a year, or see the potential for years down the road. If it's something like Klima DAO, you see how this can sustain itself and why people will still be interested in this 2-3 years from now, because there's an initiative alongside it that is doing something that the people who are invested in believe in. So as long as you get people hooked like that, and it's actually a legitimate product that's serving people, they're not going to want to leave. And you can just use Ohm and Time as an example. And obviously I'm very bullish on these protocols because I'm a nerd. I'm a geek for this stuff. This is the stuff I love to kind of explore. So I'm very biased, but I just do believe, like, again, we've gone and looked at hundreds and hundreds of projects, right?
Dude,
hundreds of things.
It's the new wave. It's just like the
And
people who are meme coin hunting.
This is what we attach to
Mhm.
early on. And of course, now that we have vested interest in it, again, we're biased, but like, I haven't had an incentive to sell yet.
Yeah.
And it's become my biggest holding out of nowhere.
Time
Time
has
almost
just
30% of
Time
my
cracked my
portfolio
top
out
3.
of nowhere.
It's already in my top 3
insane.
biggest holdings. It's about to be number 2 probably by the end of the week. It's
Yeah,
insane.
and-
Like,
And
No,
it's
no, no, no,
it's
it's
the
got a long
other
way to
thing
go.
is this. The other thing is this.
I thought about
And
it.
it's so similar to Bitcoin in the sense that everyone knew that Bitcoin could have a value of 0 and it could drop to 0 at any point in time.
Yeah.
That's the truth. But basically every single day that Bitcoin trades above 0 is another day that people grow in confidence that this is actually going to last. And that's exactly how Ohm is. I use Ohm as the indicator for everything else. Basically, I use Ohm as the indicator for time. If Ohm has lasted a year, that means that I'm very confident Time is going to last a year. Because if Time is generating just as much or more value than Ohm did in that year, what is the reasoning behind it not
Exactly.
lasting at least a year? There is none. And so the longer that these go on, the more belief and faith people are going to be able to put into them that they're not actually rugs, that they're not going to be rugged. And the other thing is, and again, in these videos, they talk about it. All of it is transparent. All of it is open. in a Ponzi scheme, none of it is open. None of it is, you're not able to access
closed doors,
anything
yeah.
that's going on. But in an open source protocol, you're basically able to look at, the comparison would be, you're able to go and look and read through any of the books of the bank that you have your money in. You're able to go and look at every single transaction. You're able to look at where everything is, where what is going on, when things are executed. Just imagine being able to do that with your bank. Your bank would never let you do that. They would never let you look into all of that stuff.
They're lending.
You
They're lending your money out.
You don't even know if your money's really in your bank.
It's not. Yeah,
So-
exactly.
It's
And it's not.
not.
They're lending it to someone else that's just got a car payment.
Yeah.
I mean, a car loan, auto loan, a mortgage, a personal loan.
Yeah, to me, without sounding like I'm trying to sell you this too much, to me, it's about, do you want to be, again, I think crypto in general, it's like, do you want to be left in the world that we know is not one that promotes the best kind of like lifestyle for humans in general, or do you want to move into the world where you now are
Control
able
your
to,
wealth. Yeah.
control your wealth and look at money as something that you're not struggling to
It's a
get.
tool.
You're just using it as a resource to go in and create value for people and literally serve other people and solve problems in the world and do things to push us forward in a more sustainable way, rather than just being solely focused on making money to the point where you'll basically sell out because you have to do it. And you're given no option based on the options we have, where it's like you either work a 9 to 5 after you go and get a college degree, or you don't and you're unable to find a job.
Yeah, and it's like, to me, the people that think that it's too good to be true and all these DAOs, like, there's no way. I'm like, for the past give or take year and a half, since a year, this whole year, people have been making hundreds of thousands of dollars, millions of dollars just buying a token early. That's all they're doing. They're buying a token early, and these people are making millions of dollars, $100,000. So that is actually happening. Now there's a more sophisticated way of making gains in the crypto space.
And sustainable.
And sustainable. So it's like, if you're letting, if people are making, someone that bought SHI just last year, or even QUANT at $1, right? Even Ethereum, anything last year, you bought last year, you made tremendous amount of money if you just held. And that actually happened. Like, that's actually happened. Now you got these DAOs, these new sophisticated ways of making and sustainable money. Why would that not happen? Why would that not be a reality? Why is that too good to be true? You know what I mean? That's like, why is that too good to be true? But then there's a guy that's like, oh, I put $1,000 into this coin last year, and now it's at $97,000. Do you know how insane that sounds? But it's been happening to hundreds and thousands of people all year.
Exactly.
All year. And then now we got this new protocol. People are making gains. They're learning more. And then other smart crypto developers are creating forks of these and making more and more and more. And obviously, with anything in life, there's always those scammers. There's always those people that will create some that are going to cheat people, just like the rug pulls.
Yeah, of course.
Oh, yeah.
That's going to happen.
That's going to happen.
Because this is an unregulated space right now. But if you just take the risk, you see the good side. There's always a bad side, but look at the good side. Look at the risk. Like what?
The other thing is
you know
the
what I mean?
thing we didn't touch on is the
Reward.
liquidity issue in crypto.
That's a huge thing too.
These like we said, these are protocols that create massive pools of liquidity that are locked up. When you're creating enough value for the people who are locking up their assets to the point where they never worry about having to come and take them out, you're creating one massive liquidity pool. And then what's even crazier is Time is buying Ohm and putting that in their treasury. So now Time, it's like Inception. It's like Time owns Ohm in their treasury. So then now it's a digital crypto asset that's backed by digital crypto assets that's backed by digital crypto assets. I know it sounds crazy, but that's insane.
That's Inception.
And you can even build upon it like that to the point where, again, we talk about runway, we talk about all these different aspects of these protocols. It makes it so that even if this thing dropped 90% over a year, you would still be in the green. You would still maintain purchasing power. Tell me what else can do that and how that's a risky bet to make. It's actually the safest bet you could make in history in an investment. That doesn't exist, where you can have the asset drop 90% in value and still be able to say I'm up on this investment just because of the compounding interest. That's ridiculous to me.
Exactly. And for Wonderland Time, it doesn't just stop at being a DAO. Wonderland Time is going to be so much more, man. Daniel is talking about, gamifying it, actually making a game out of it.
An RPG.
RPG out of it, man. It's just going to be so much. And if you guys really think about it, if Wonderland Time was the start of it, what do you think the first of every DAO on a different layer 1 is going to do next?
I think we know.
You know what I'm saying? Like, they follow the breadcrumbs. And if you're literally in every single first one on each layer 1, depending on how much money you have, of course, but I feel like you're going to catch the wave on top of wave on top of wave for a minimum of a year. I mean, these things take time to come out. So when Wonderland comes out, it might even be living for a minimum of a year before it comes out, but then when it does, it will just quantify, and then the next ones will see, oh, this how they did it. All right, I'm gonna copy that code and change it a little bit. All right, bet. And that might come out in 3 months, but by the time you made your gains off of Wonderland Time, you already in the next fork that's gonna do the same thing, that's gonna do the same thing, that's gonna do the same thing. Now, do I think that all of the forks that are on that come after the first one are gonna last? Probably not, but I mean, it is what it is. Ride the wave until you can't ride it anymore, right? Ride the wheels till they fall off.
So Mike, tell us about. So we have what we believe is like kind of the time of Phantom, right?
Right.
We've talked about it off air. So why don't we talk about that now? I think we have to release it to the people.
All right. So I'm going to show you guys the price of where it is currently right now, and then I'm going to show you the actual website.
This is breaking.
What happened?
Breaking news.
No, it's breaking news. This is breaking news. Yeah.
Sorry, I thought you had some. I was like, wait, what is that about?
They
about to go down.
Can I say they got me in?
Yeah, I mean, sure.
They got me in
if you want to.
And I'm in this morning. We took like they're great. They're great gentlemen. They waited 30 minutes for me to get it in because it took forever, right?
Yeah.
To swap into the.
Well, yours was faster than both me and Dante's.
That was interesting. I was like worried. I was like, oh, if it takes so long, we'll just do the show. But we're all in.
Yeah. So the one we want to show you guys is the first. I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong. Anybody who's on the Phantom Network, but I think Hector DAO is the first DAO on the Phantom Network, but more so to the point of it being the first one that it's actually doing some crazy innovative stuff that I really can feel like I can get behind. And if we look at the website, you guys can see that the current price is $247.73. So the barrier to entry is not that expensive. I mean, if you look at Wonderland Time, you're looking at probably almost $9,000 just to get one.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? If you're looking at Ohm, you're looking at probably $800 just to get one, but it's even more so than that because you got to pay the gas fees for it. The gas fees on Phantom are minuscule compared. But yeah, the barrier to entry is very small. If we look at the APY, the APY is still pretty good as well. So, you still potentially, you're very early in the sense. I think, what did this come out in, like 15 days ago or something like that?
Yeah, the 14th, I believe.
Yeah, it's super early on this one. And then if you guys look down here on the bottom left, you guys will see that they're coming out with a Hector Lend, a Hector Borrow, a Hector Pro, a couple of stuff that they're coming out with.
This is the first DAO on
I believe. I don't want to speak out of turn and say that it is, but I believe it is. But even if it's not, it's the first one that I feel comfortable putting my money into because of the team for one and what they're trying to implement two. So that's why I feel comfortable with Hector DAO. What about you, Dante? What do you think about Hector DAO, man?
I think that we were talking about it again. Which ones are going to be like those the blue chip decentralized currencies for their respective layer ones? And so we said Time is kind of the one for AVAX,
right?
And I think Hector DAO, based on everything that we have seen, is going to be that for Phantom. And if that is the case, they are innovating a little bit. They have the 4.4, which I haven't even looked into, but for full disclosure, I'm also invested in this. And I think that this is going to be as good of an opportunity as Time. And so all the other ones, honestly, I've ignored because I think those are all noise that's distracting you from the ones that are just going to last. I think each layer one's going to have one major Ohm fork that is still not going to be OHM, but they're going to be the OHM of that network that everyone's going to gravitate towards. That's going to be the treasury for that network, kind of. Which, if that's my vision, I guess.
So 4-4ing for clarification, and I'm still learning about it, so bear with me, guys. If you guys have any like more information about it, please leave it in the comment section down below. But for 4-4ing, for me, from what I understand from the research that I've done, is basically the minting and bonding portion of DAOs. So you know how you have 1-1, which is basically just staking, and then you have 9-9, which is basically like, so you would take your time or whatever. If you 9-9 time, you would take it, you would sell a portion of it and buy it back again, and then take a loan out of it. And then once you have that loan, you take that loan and put it back into time. So that would be considered like 9-9ing. And 4-4ing, I believe, is just purely bonding or minting. So hopefully you guys kind of understood that. I know I went by it a little bit fast, but if you guys have any more information about 4-4ing, please put it in the comment section so everyone can kind of see that. But John found one interesting fork.
It's shout out. I said I was gonna shout him out today. Icky, we were in the Discord. It was 2 nights ago. Icky, the Discord. I hear it. He's gonna see this. What's up, my dog? Okay, but
So,
it's
yeah. Go ahead, John.
It was $40 when they were all talking about it in the Discord, and I was like it was late at night, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna sleep. I'll do it in the morning. I woke up and it hit $138 in the morning time. So then I was like, oh, I gotta. So like, all right, I'm just ape in now. So I got into Fort, and is that the current price? Because that thing hit yesterday.
Probably not.
It hit $236. Yes, so imagine all those people that bought it at like $40-$50. But this is another fork on the Avalanche network. Yeah,
this is an Avalanche fork. So if you're bullish on Avalanche and maybe you're like, I don't know about the barrier to entry to Wonderland Time, because you look at the price and you kind of freak out. But I mean, Fortress DAO.
It just came out on November 19th.
So Fortress DAO is still a fork of OHM, but it's like a second or third generation fork.
Yeah.
So, take that with whatever, grain of salt, whatever you want to do. But John is invested into Fortress DAO. Just for clarification, I am invested into Hector DAO
as well. Yeah, I just got an Hector today.
John we're all invested into Hector DAO as well. I do want a disclaimer. This one, I am in Spartacus. This one is another fork of OHM on the Phantom ecosystem. But this one, the reason I chose to get into this one, guys, to be honest with you, is they're going to be doing an airdrop probably by the end of the month, if I'm not mistaken. They have not taken screenshots from what I know. I'm in the Discord, I'm in the Telegram group. They haven't taken any screenshots to see if you're using the protocol yet. So I think you have a little bit of time. I'm not sure how much though. But yeah, I'm in Spartacus just because I want to take advantage of the airdrops. I feel like all year I've missed out on a bunch of airdrops, and airdrops is basically just free money. And theoretically, you can build your portfolio just off of airdrops. If you chase airdrops, you can build some airdrops are like $200, some airdrops are 2,000, some airdrops are 5,000. Yeah, see,
if you hold LCS token, they're giving you a token. I forgot what the ticker was though.
XRP had an airdrop. If you it was what was those two tokens that had airdrop? Songbird and Flare.
Songbird.
So those by itself were like $2,000 free airdrops. That's basically 4 racks that you just got for free just by playing with the protocol. So I'm playing with Spartacus right now. I'm not endorsing it. I don't know too much about it, but other than I know that it's a fork of OHM and it's a DAO, and it recently just got started on Phantom Network. But that's all I really know about it. So take that information with what you will. And then I wanted to highlight this one as well. This is the first DAO on Solana, which is called Invictus. And they're going to be having another DAO that comes out after them called Babylon, I believe. And currently their APY, is this 83 million, guys?
Yeah, maybe.
So this is 83 million. But the difference that this Sol Invictus has over every single one, including OHM, is that it has a continuous rebase system. As you have it staked in, it's continuously, you see your numbers go up continuously throughout the day, throughout the months, throughout the weeks. that nobody else has. This is the first one that has
That's
it.
why I'm saying there's so many little tweaks that they're doing, and all these forks. They're just tweaking it. They're doing, and that's something new. We don't know if that is that sustainable. It has to prove itself.
Who
right?
knows? Who knows? But it's the first one on Solana. So, hey, man, probably the other ones that come off Solana will probably piggyback off of this one and say, okay, well, they sustained this for about a year. So if that's possible, then we can do it too. And then they will create theirs, and they will create theirs, and blah, 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 blah. And the rest is history. So honestly, guys, it's one of those things where I would say personally that if you were going to put your money on something that you felt like you wanted to create some passive income with, I would either go Wonderland Time or OHM for sure. I would go Hector as well, just because it is the first that is doing, as far as like barrier to entry, I would go either Wonderland and or Hector for the barrier to entry. But if you want to go straight to the source, I would go OHM, but OHM will be very, very expensive, guys. So that's not a play for a beginner. That's not a play if you're just getting started, just because
of the fees and
the
stuff
fees
kind of
alone
ruin it.
It's gonna ruin your
It'll
outlook
get
on
annoying,
it.
yeah.
You're gonna be like, nah, dude. Because every time you claim, you're gonna be paying 30, 40, $100, and at that point,
But
is it really even worth it?
You can get so this is a thing. Like I was potentially gonna do this. You can get wrapped staked OHM on Avalanche. So you can get basically a wrapped version of OHM that's already being staked and automatically rebases into your Avalanche wallet.
That's
really
Oh, really?
cool. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. Hey, see,
So
there you go.
what you can
learn
do is
something
I was
every day.
considering it too. Yeah, I was considering it too. Is at one point or another having my time into and then putting all of that into wrapped staked OHM, and then I can say I have both.
Okay. But as you see, guys, there's thousands of ways to implement these things. I never knew anything about
every
it.
day.
There's new stuff coming out every single day. But honestly, guys, I think this is a wave that we can catch, that we can ride, that's very, very new. And if you hop in on it now, not financial advice, I'm not telling you which one to get into. You got to do your research on all of them.
Yeah.
But I think this is an opportunity for us to create passive income, and for two, be able to catch a wave early and be like, hey, I was here before this, or I was there basically when it was just Ethereum as a layer one. That's basically what you can say. Like, I'm in it.
Yeah.
I'm in DAOs before DAOs were ever anything.
This is crazy. Just think about like 2017, 2018. None of this was around.
Nope.
It was just literally buying tokens and then selling them. And then people were like waiting on Ethereum. And Ethereum was still so new in regards of what it was going to offer. Like, I don't even know when did Uniswap come around? Remember that movie, Dope? They didn't have any swaps. The guy created his own swap.
Yeah.
That guy who's like a tech.
He created his
like
own
a tech
Uniswap,
guy.
basically.
He's like, oh, I'm making an exchange. I'm making a swap. He made his own Uniswap. But that was before we knew about layer 1 tech, layer 2. And that swap was literally just from Bitcoin to fiat.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. But we're in it early, guys.
We got wrapped Bitcoin, we got stable coins, we got other like.
So I would say take advantage of this, guys. Take advantage of this opportunity. Take from this episode the knowledge and understanding of DAOs, and then dive deep into DAOs.
Decentralized, autonomous organizations.
The faster we all get educated on it, the more opportunities we're just going to continue to find.
And there's going to be there's going to be more innovation to come from this, what we see here. This might be the first things that we're seeing that's amazing to us. There's going to probably be something even better in like 2 years.
Who knows?
And the fact that you're in now and learning it now,
better.
it'll be so much easier
to
adapt it. We don't know, right? I mean, something different or some new type of, I don't know. I'm just saying the crypto space.
There's always going to be innovation, right? There'll never be a time in place where we'll just stop. Yeah.
What type of Hashgraph tech is going to come from Hashgraph?
Yeah. I wanted to share with you guys something real quick before we close out. On the show, we mentioned Propy, which has to do with the
real estate.
With the real estate industry. And come to find out the other day, Propy actually has a course that teaches you about, how to use blockchain and how to buy real estate within you know how like LCX allows for you to basically make anything a security, basically, so you can own a portion of a home. ProP teaches you how to do that in real estate and make money off of it. So I thought that was actually pretty cool. That ProP is actually
really, tokenize any asset that you have.
You actually even get a freaking certificate for it. And who knows if it's going to be worth anything, but if you take that to a company that wants to learn about blockchain and understanding about crypto, you theoretically could get a job with it, all from taking a course. So you guys, I went on that tangent just to tell you that, crypto is a way for you to further make money and actually really live the lifestyle you want to. A lot of us dream of, basically coming onto a computer and just, trading and swapping stuff out and do all that just for a lifestyle. But we're showing you that you can literally do it. And DAOs is one of the ways that you can do it. Do you guys have anything else?
You can also do that by subscribing to Dante's channel and our channel and join the Discord.
That is the best way, actually.
You'll do
Not
really well.
or subscriber advice.
Yep.
Definitely. But did you guys have anything closing remarks that you guys want to say? Last thing before we close out? Good to go, everybody? All right. So they said it best. Follow Dante, subscribe to his channel, like every video, hit the thumbs up, man. He really does appreciate it. We really do appreciate it. We love what Dante does on his channel. We love what everybody in this circle right now, and we're hoping to get some more people on, because we love to have different understandings and things of that nature. But subscribe to Dante, subscribe to us, like all the videos. If you guys want to join an amazing family, amazing community, definitely join the public Discord. Dante's in there as well, so you guys can kind of have access to us 24/7. We talk in there, we have conversations in there as well. So it's really a fun place. We're closing in almost 500 people in it right now, so we're still small, but we're growing really, really big. Join right underneath John. You will see our TikTok, our Instagram, and our Twitter. So if you guys want to join us there, you can definitely do so. And with that being said, we will see you guys tomorrow.
Let's go.
Peace out.
And it goes a little